A little bit of rock and roll. Saturday night for a little bit of rock and roll. The all-new Chevy Silverado. It's a little bit country, and it's a little bit rock and roll.
Everybody all set? Ooh, any recommendations? Salmon was okay. Just okay. Is it fresh? Sort of. The chef had it this morning. Unfortunately, he went home sick. But he left instructions with Kyle.
Yes. Just okay? Especially when it comes to your network. AT&T is America's best wireless network according to America's biggest tenants. Now with 5G, more than your That's our
Fact is, Americans move more than anyone else in the world. On average, we'll live in 11 homes. And every time we move, things change. Apartments become houses, cars become minivans. If we upgrade and downsize, most cities will do the same for our protection. Now, if you know the truth, are you in good hands?
Camera's first fun of the night coming up. At halftime, after the Imagine Dragons perform, stay tuned for the Mercedes-Benz halftime report.
So right now, out of sports today, I'm seeing that listen. That ball ended up being a fumble as they called it field. But he was down on action. Ball came out. You know, if he sees his blitz and recognizes this, Chris, he's able to dump it out to Najee Harris, who's slipping out of the backfield. In fact, Najee Harris wants the ball to come his way. If Tua would have kept his eyes on that blitz, he's looking right. Najee Harris to the top left. He's jumping up and down, wanting the ball. So their answer to that blitz is to immediately throw the ball right there. Right now, if you recognize it, he never saw it. This is a quarterback that hasn't made mistakes like this. So it's hard to get Tua, but also and Brett Venables and his Clemson defense is creating these opportunities. They're blowing it right now.
So it's Lawrence and Tigers back to work. ETN. 2 touchdowns already to his left. 2:04 before halftime. Bama will get the football to begin the second half. Lawrence from the back. That's Trey Thompson. Out here to 40.
Tuesday, everyone recognizes it's cover 2. Goes right over top of Smith, the corner, sitting up the post, up in the flat. He goes right over top of him, showing that arm strength, and in front of the safety, he puts it there to senior Thompson.
Played more years of wide receiver than any Tiger ever. Good protection in the pocket. Another long throw. It's too long. It's into the Alabama bench.
Okay, you keep in mind this first half. This kid, Trevor Lawrence, is a true freshman. Look at the composure. He's 6'6", 215, ridiculous physical skills. This is what he's done. He's started 4 years. Experience when starting as a 14-year-old in a school with the pressure of Georgia high school football. Those experiences in order to allow him to step in as a true freshman. And the game is not too big for it.
So 19-year-old in October.
All right, let's roll. What up, everybody? 28-16, $1.53 left. First half. What's up, gentlemen? Brian Rowe in the house. Druzilla, Shano, Bruce Chad, Nate Brooks, Ryan C., Matthias in Germany, up in the late night hours watching the national championship game. Sonny Vega in the house. Vegas Gun, Jason Lovely, Kovacs, Shano. We need more points. What's up, Paul? How about them Eagles? We need more points. Not bad. We're at 44. The overs is going to hit, but I got the in game too. What's up, Scartown? Good to see you. Trevor Lawrence back to pass, 2nd and 10. Boom. First down, 15-yard pickup. And a 15-yard flag for a late hit out of bounds by Bama. Saban not going to like that. You're down 12. They're moving the ball, and you fucking hit the kid. It wasn't much of a hit, but Bama deserved this. Bama talks so much shit after every play, and they push and they grab and shit. The ref was like, it was right in front of the ref. You didn't have a choice there to call it. This is what happens. You know, like I compared it to a fight. Like you're used to beating people up. Suddenly the dude you're fighting is punching you back in the face, and like you're all bloody and shit. Bama are getting a little flustered now, you can tell. Tua's a little rattled. The guys on Bama's defense, they're talking shit. They remind me of the Ravens. They're talking shit after every play. It's like, dude, he just picked up 15 yards on you. It's like you're getting carved up by a fucking, like, surfer here. Alabama offside, free play. See what I'm saying? Like, Alabama don't make mistakes like this usually. They just jumped offside. Like, they're all, you know what I mean? I'm not saying they're nervous, rattled, but like they're flustered that shit, like that they're not killing them. Alabama's not out of this game, though, guys. It's only 12-point lead. You know, Alabama's going to fucking storm back. Clemson can't let up. The thing is, like, this kid's like an NFL quarterback. Like, darts. He was rattled. I was going to tweet it, but I had to get ready for the show here. You could see after the first quarter or late in the first quarter, whatever, they showed a shot of him on the bench, and he didn't know the cameras on him or anything, but I saw him. He was like, he sort of took a deep breath, and he was like, and he sort of looked up, and he looked around and shit, and I could tell right there. I was like, yeah, this kid's fucking just settled in. It's like a goalie, you know what I mean? You got to feel a few pucks to start the game, and that's like, all right, we're good, you know? I think Lawrence was overwhelmed on that first series. You know, he's a tall kid, passes getting batted down and shit. He seemed a little wide-eyed and rattled, but he's really calmed down. Clemson's got to be, you know, Clemson's got to be careful here. Don't just settle for a field goal attempt. You know, you don't know if your kid's going to get it. Cornyn Williams is all gassed. Alabama's best defensive player on the line, the #1 pick in the upcoming NFL draft, probably. Kid's fucking looking pretty out of breath. You're not playing a Citadel this week, Quentin. Like, this Etienne kid is fucking killing it, too. Fucking pissing me off. I don't have him on my DraftKings team. Ooh, under pressure. Nice stop by Bama's defense. They needed something. Yeah, settle down, Kirk Herbstreit. There's not much the kid can fucking do. This dude on Bama fucking blitzed through the fucking middle. What do you want? All right, let's see if Clemson's kicker is any good. It's his third national championship game. He better be good. Hey, he's better than Cody Parkey. 31-16. We're up to 47 points in the first here. No, he can't come out. Same with the Travis Etienne kid. Which is actually a pretty scary thought for college football, that this fucking Lawrence kid's going to be around for another couple of more years. Tua will be around next year, and then he'll bolt the year after. I guess you got to be 3 years removed from high school. Like if you're a red shirt, it's all right, you know what I mean? But it's basically 3 years out of high school, I guess. On a lighter note, well, not lighter note, but different note than this game as far as quarterbacks, that kid from Buffalo is coming out. The Tyree Jackson kid. Now, listen, I'm not going to criticize the kid for coming out. You know, he's going to make money. Yeah, he's going to get drafted. He'll be in the NFL, but it's not a great career move. Like, basically, this is the problem with the NCAA and all this violation bullshit. Like I don't see what would be wrong if somebody just said, listen, he could go to the NFL, but it's not good for him. And we're lending him $50,000 so he can live this year in college, and he'll play in college another year. Right? But it's so stupid. It's like, not poor. Like, sort of like Deshaun Kaiser. Like, Deshaun Kaiser shouldn't have went to the NFL when he did. You know, but he needed the money. His family was broke and shit. And he was like, you know, whatever. And look, the kid's a backup now and shit. Like, it could have worked out differently for him. That's what I'm saying. Like, the NCAA, like, people don't think of it like that. But you're putting these kids in a weird spot, too. It's like if you grew up fucking piss poor and shit, and you know I can make $800,000 next year. They're going to give me $800,000. And I'll probably make, you know, for a couple of years no matter what, even if I suck. Deep ball is just not there for Bama right now. And exactly, he's a late round pick anyway, Scartown. Like, if he stays in, like, you know, he could work his way up to like a third round pick or something. You know, like, people like him. But if you watch the kid play, he's nowhere near ready to be in the NFL. But a team's going to take him because they know, oh, shit, this kid's going to be good in 2 years. Holy fuck, Bama's pussying out at the end of the quarter. I can't believe this. Wow. Alabama just tapped 10.5. They tapped. They had time left, and they're like, no, we're good. Saban's like, I've had enough of this half. Saban's probably thinking nothing's good gonna. We're not going down the field. Nothing's good gonna happen here.
Very good job getting off the field on third down on defense. We turned the ball over twice. Right, we had the ball on the half-yard line and get a penalty, 10 points off the board. So, you know, we've executed well enough on offense to score a lot of points, but we turned the ball over and shoot ourselves in the foot. But defensively, we're going to have to play a lot better than what we're playing. There are some things that we had, you know, not against stuff that other people are doing against us, so we had to practice against, so we'll get it fixed at that time.
Thanks for your time.
Wow, Saban was very honest there. All right, here's Dabo.
True freshman. You said he doesn't play like a freshman anymore. How do you assess how Trevor Lawrence has handled things? Well, he's done a great job. He's missed a couple throws. You know, we hit that back. That's a touchdown right there with that last one. But, you know, they got no pressure on him. You know, we've scored every time twice.
Man, these coaches are hard asses, man.
We We got to get our run game going a little bit.
Dabo Sweeney. Yeah, he's playing real well. You know, he missed that pass, would have been a touchdown. But yeah, he was under pressure though. It's like, yeah, he was under pressure, coach. That's why he missed the pass. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like every incomplete pass, these coaches get pissed. But.
No, it's down now. So we're happy to have the lead, but when they ain't nothing less important than they did score that time. We're on the way to sign in the arc. It's good luck. Thank you. That's a mantra. Dabo Jenner was comments going to break and a lot to be excited about. Time controlling possession and stats. That doesn't mean a lot. Tigers by 15 in the break.
Yeah, college football is the South. Like besides Ohio State winning like once, pretty much all the titles are like South, 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 South. Wow. You know what's nuts? A few minutes ago, the in-game number for Clemson was 28-16. And the in-game number was Clemson minus 140. It's 31-16 now. And this is only a few minutes ago, you know, that it's changed. Now it's Clemson minus 320. So now I think there is value for you bettors out there. Now, is Jazz in the chat right now? I don't see Jazz here right now. I could find out. I'd like to find out what what my payout option is on the over, because I have the over 56. So Bet365 will be paying a winner out on that right now. Not all of it, but pretty much. Like if I had access and it was in front of me, I would maneuver around a bit with this one. I would have jumped off and cashed in, you know what I mean? Tried to maximize everything. And to be honest, I'm a little upset actually. It's just I'm soft and it's hard to wake up at 6 in the morning and drink and shit, but I wanted to, this would be a good game to be at the FanDuel Sportsbook right now. Not because I ought to be around people, but I can really hammer this fucking in-game and shit. I fucking knew it too. I thought of it. I was like, you know, I don't really want to go there, but fuck, once the game gets going and I see the feel of it, I could fucking drop like fucking 500 on it, you know, or whatever, and fucking and hammer the in-game over. Now, I remember all the tickets we played the other night we showed you. LA Chargers +3. Winner. Seattle Seahawks, LA Chargers teaser. Winner. Seattle Seahawks +3. That we got motherfucking lucky on. Winner. Philadelphia Eagles and the over of the Charger game. Teaser. Winner. So it was good. We went to the book. We played 4 tickets. We won 4 tickets. So I have a legitimate reason to be going back. I have a legitimate reason to be going back to the book. I was like, man, I'll cash these. I can fucking smash this title game tonight. But, you know, ironically, it was because fucking we were in studio with Cam until 7. It was a good show, but it would have been a pain in the ass to get out there. I did have some money in Bet365, yet I'm a little bit underwhelmed with what we're hitting here. Now, if we sweep the board, that's why I was thinking, it'd be good to sort of abandon ship on one of these bets, cash out, and roll it over even some more. Let me send a text over. Oh, God, now the halftime performance. Fuck, this game's going to be long. Imagine Dragons. They don't suck, at least. Hey, we've been hearing them play this song all fucking year during every college football game, so we might as well see it one last live one. Imagine Dragons have basically become the college football ESPN bet. They play the Grey Cup too. It's like this is their deal. They play sports events. It's a good gig to get. Oh, my battery's already dead. Fuck me, man. Let's go to the other phone. People that only know this song from college football games are like, I don't really like the rest of the song. I just know that chorus part. Yeah, these games, college football, man. Like they said they were starting at 8. You knew they really weren't going to start at 8. It's 10 o'clock now. They didn't roll out Imagine Dragons to play one song. Fuck. They've got a couple of hits. I imagine they'll get 2 songs in. Oh, yeah, it's a medley. That's what they do in these fucking things. They didn't do the whole song. They just went into another one. Yeah, good points, Guard Town. Listen, Alabama's been down a lot. Alabama was down to Georgia before in the title game, and we're down this year. Alabama was tied with the Citadel at the half. Alabama was only up 16-13, or it was 17-13, I think. 16 or 17-13 against Auburn. And Auburn weren't that good this year. They were only up by 3 or 4 at the half against Auburn. It's funny because if you remember, Alabama were like 8-0 in the first half against the spread this year. They were killing it in the first half. And then basically in the last like 3-4 games, they're like 0-4 against the spread in the first half. Once again, they didn't cover in the first half. It's not really a criticism of them. It's basically, listen, other teams are really fired up to play them, right? So they come out, they throw their best shit at them, and can they withstand it for 60 minutes? I personally think Alabama are in a lot of trouble right now tonight. I think they're in a lot of trouble. I don't see just a blind automatic comeback here. Only because Clemson aren't going to screw this up. Alabama's going to have to do it. Like Georgia screw it up. You know what I mean? Kirby Smart's not Dabo Swinney. And Georgia are really good. They have a ton of good players, but they're not as good as Clemson. Like they're not – Georgia's not there yet. Georgia's Georgia's probably the most stacked team after Alabama in pure talent, but they haven't learned how to totally harness all of it. You know what I mean? Like, look, they got fucking their ass handed by Texas. Like, they're not on that level yet. Listen, Clemson weren't on this level before either. Even Dabo Sweeney. I'm sure, I don't know if you remember, some of you guys remember, they got fucking smashed in the Orange Bowl. Clemson did with Dabo Sweeney. They got shut out. I think it was like, I don't know, it was like 48-0 or 52-0. It was really embarrassing. They got really, really killed. I believe it was by West Virginia. Like they got smashed in the Orange Bowl. And it was like a humiliating game for Dabo Sweeney and stuff. And they, you know, they picked it up after. Wow. So listen, I'm on the over 56 in this game. You guys saw the picks. I sent them to you. I got Alabama, Clemson over 56. I've got Clemson on a teaser. So I've got Clemson plus 12.5 over 49.5 or 49, whatever the hell it was. And I've got Trevor Lawrence over 243.5 passing yards. And then I jumped on the in-game over 76.5. I'm looking right now. Look, Alabama's now plus 235 on the money line. Clemson are minus 7.5 in the game. Fuck. Alabama plus the 7.5. I don't know, man. Like this game right now, this is like it's like the Golden State Warriors in the second half. Remember over the past couple of years, in past years with the Golden State Warriors in the second half, we could just sort of jump up and smash the Warriors, and it would sort of be automatic. And then, like, over the last 2 years, it's not automatic anymore. Like, we don't do it anymore. Like, we're not like, oh, yeah, the Warriors are down by 12 at the half. They're going to come back and win for sure. Like, remember for a few years, it was the best bet in sports. It was like free money. Fuck. It was basically don't bet the Warrior game before it starts. They're going to be 10 or 12 or 14-point favorites. They're going to be losing at the half, and they're going to win the game, and they're going to win the second half bet. It was like free money. It was like one of the purists, like just sit back and wait for the Warrior game to get to the half and then smash them. And but then, like, it sort of started where, you know, they didn't come back tonight. Like, you know, now it's like, I'm not doing that. Fuck, they might not come back. And I get the same feeling right now with Bama. Like, Tua is a little bit overwhelmed here. He's not overwhelmed, but it's like, I sort of expected this, to be honest. I didn't have the balls to take Clemson on the money line. It wasn't enough. I mean, Bama were only favored by 5 points. But Tua, as good as he is, he's a young kid, man, you know? He doesn't have that much experience. Like, he's played, you know, he played in half the football game last year. He didn't play in a ton of fourth quarters this year. He was hurt quite a bit near down the end of the stretch. He played in like a bunch of routes too. You know, so it's just different. He hasn't played against a defense like this, and it's kind of showing. Like, he's surprised. You see, like, he's sort of surprised. He's confused. Like, what just happened? Like, say, well, what happened is the team you're playing is actually good. Fuck. Holy crap, fuck. Evidently, this halftime show is going to be like an hour long, man, because they're playing every song they have. Hey, listen, there's worse halftime shows than this. I'm not complaining about it. I just hope it ends. All right, there it is. It's over. Hey, San Francisco's looking pretty nice at night. I've always liked the San Francisco skyline. Golden Gate Bridge. Looks a little hilly though, doesn't it? I had to buy a new phone charger. Fuck. I can go back. I'm gonna go get it one day, but it would have cost me to go back and forth there anyways. Frustrating day. I had to buy a phone charger for my phone. I then dropped my phone in a toilet. And I'm like, man, what's up with this phone? Fuck. I've lost it like 3 times, gotten it back, lost the charger, dropped it in the toilet today. I wasn't even holding it, fuck. I was fucking in a bathroom stall. I fucking went to the bathroom, rolled a spliff, and I'm like leaning over fucking for a second. I'm like leaned over to grab like my bag and shit. My fucking phone just like fucking out. I'm like, no, and I saw it. Going to the save, like I have quick reflexes, so set the phone up right away. I was like, I fucking bang, I fucking like slapped it out and fucking hit the floor. I'm like, fuck, man. I fucking wipe it off and shit. I'm like, man, I just bought this charger. It better work. And then, and then today, I look and I don't get a lot of phone calls. I don't even know my own number. I literally don't know my number. I sort of do, but I don't really know my number. So not a lot of other people know my number. I don't get a lot of calls. So when I got out of the studio today after the morning show, I'm looking and I've got like fucking 2 missed calls. And it's a New Jersey number. And I'm thinking, wow, fuck. Like, I'm like, wow, I don't know. Not too many people even have this number. So I don't know. Like, normally I'm like, I'm not answering, but I was actually curious. I'm like, what the fuck's this? Then I realized, I'm like, oh, fuck, it's my fucking condo. Then I'm thinking, oh, this can't be good. Why is my condo calling me at like noon on a Monday? So I called them back, and I got a big brouhaha here with the power here. They tried to cut my power today. I don't know what the deal is. Listen, it's not in my name. And I don't know if the people here before me owed money or what the fuck it is. But anyways, I don't have a choice. I have to go in tomorrow. Almost feels like a trap. I have to go in tomorrow, though, to one of their offices. And I need to sign, like, documents fucking proving that I wasn't here during this date and blah, blah, blah. Fuck. And I don't have a choice. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They were here today already. Now, I'm going to give this condo credit, actually. They didn't let them in. They were like, no, like, I guess they're whatever. Then the condo people said, listen, yeah, you got these people up your ass. We didn't let them in, but we got to let you know. So I was like, why are these people up my ass? I don't know. I don't even know. I never even signed up with them. I don't know what you're talking about. So I had to call them, and it's a big, long story that I don't really want to talk about. But nevertheless, I'm not paying for the back of anything. It's not happening. It's not happening. I basically need to go and prove that I'm not this guy named William, whatever his last name is. Like the lady was pretty cool on the phone. She's like, no, you know, you don't have to pay. She's like, but she says you do have to fucking come and vouch though. And you do need to sign something. And we do need your ID. You know what I mean? She was serious about it. She goes, otherwise, we're right back to where we started, right? So I was like, yeah, whatever, fuck. You know? But I you know, the lady was all cool until the end. She was a cool chick, but she was all over the place. Took like fucking 50 minutes. But at the end, I was like, whatever, man. I was like, fine. I thought I could just scan something, fax them, whatever. It's 2019. But no. She named like 5 offices that I have a choice to go to. Fuck. I'm like, that's just fucking great. I told her, how long do I have? Like, she's like, oh, you better come like today or tomorrow. I said, listen, give me like 48 hours here, all right? So I looked it up. It's actually not that bad. It's not that far, but it's a pain in the ass. It's a pain in the ass. Like, whatever. I'm not in trouble. I'm not overly concerned. I'm not happy about this. I know somehow I'm gonna end up getting screwed, but like I said, they were pretty cool. She was like, listen, fuck, it's not you. And she even told me. Yeah, I got to go through the lease. It is. I think, you know what it is, basically? I think the owner of the place, I believe, hasn't paid. That's what the gist of this is. Like, I don't know where the dude is or he's whatever. Like, the dude's, I've never seen a guy. But I can tell, like, he's got a shitload of bills that come here. Like, fucking my mailbox fills up. And he's got, like, you know what I mean? He's got all kinds of warnings and shit. So I don't know what the deal is. Because you can tell just by the frequency of the company, right? So I'm like, man, this guy gets a lot of mail, fuck. And I'm like, why don't you stop your mail, fuck? I'm like, you're not here. Like, I've always wanted that. You know what? I'm going to put a stop to it, guys. That's what I'll do. I didn't even realize. I didn't know any of this. This all just hit me today. But whatever. I got to speak to the fucking condo board here about this shit. I'm going to do all this in the morning tomorrow. But the thing is, I can't lose the fucking power. All right? Like, otherwise I'm screwed. So, like, whatever, man. I spoke to the chick on the phone. She told me it's good. Just come in tomorrow and prove that you're not this guy. So I was like, all right. She just said I need a proof of fucking, you know what? It's good. I actually have a fucking cable bill. She said you need another utility bill to prove it too. So I was like, yeah, sure. I just paid the cable and the internet. That's why I was like, fuck this. I was like, what do you mean I'm getting? Like when she told me, like, oh yeah, they came and pull. I'm like, pull what? Fuck. I'm like, I just paid them. What are you talking about? It's a pain in the ass, man. Like I said, I'm going to deal with this. We're going to get it sorted out, but. Yeah, I don't know. I know it's a trap. Yeah, PS and G. PSE and G. PSE, whatever the hell they are, yeah. All right, Alabama's got a little burst. And yeah, I see that they're a publicly traded company and their shares are worth $51. Yeah, you should. They were fucking sketchy on the phone too. They were hitting me with one thing. I'm like, that's not even me. And she goes, what do you mean it's not you? I'm like, it's not me. And then she goes, wow, we can't charge you for something if it's not you, can we? And I was like, she goes, you never signed anything? I was like, no, I never signed anything. But so she was cool. Like I can't say once, like whatever. It took like 10, 15 minutes for her to comprehend it. She put me on hold. She's like, oh, I need to speak to someone else. She spoke to her manager, blah, blah. She came back. And then finally she was like, yeah, it's all good. You're good. She goes, but you need to prove that you're not this person living there. Otherwise, we're cutting the service. She said, you need to go to your condo board and get a fucking piece of paper saying this and come with your ID. I was like, all right. You've dealt with him before, Ro. No, I didn't sign anything. I'm not paying anything, like you stated, Drew. I'm going there just to get him off my fucking ass so they don't turn my lights off tomorrow. Like I said, it's gonna. I could argue this. Normally, I'd be like, "Screw you," and I'd be yelling at everyone and shit. But it's not gonna help me. Like I don't. There's nowhere. You know what I mean? Like I can't. Like I said, I don't want this shit getting turned off. Once it's turned off, it's gonna be a pain in the ass. It's weird too because I remember when I moved in, the chick told me that the guy that owns the unit is a prick. She said he's like the biggest like anal dude in the building, basically. And the first few weeks he was around all the time. They were always asking questions and shit. And now he hasn't been around a few months, so who knows? Like Spencer S. is saying, maybe the guy racked up big debt. Who fucking knows, man? Like I said, he gets a shitload of mail here soon. And most normal people do their change of mail. That's something that I would do. Well, I've done that where I'm like, yeah, whatever. Let him send them. Well, I'm not there. I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, who does that? Like, most people would care about their mail, right? This guy doesn't care about his mail because I get his mail. It's actually annoying because I don't really get much mail, but I get like, there's a few things I look for. So, like, I got to sift through, and every few days, man, my mailbox is full. I'm like, fuck, man, this is bullshit. I have one person that sends me one envelope every few weeks. I don't need a full mailbox. Fuck. I'm always throwing the shit out. But I can tell, like I see, like he's getting a lot of these fucking bills, but I never pay attention to them, right? William is the owner. Anyways, we've already went through this earlier on the show today, and we had similar comments. The owner is not around, all right? So whether if I'm the fucking owner or not, it doesn't change the fact that they're knocking on the door trying to fucking shut the shit off. That's the fucking long story short. That's why I need to go there. It doesn't matter whether it's right, whether it's wrong, whether who's what. Fuck. It's to the point where they're sending people here, right? So, yeah, I am. And I'm looking around here. I don't see a lot of people going to be dealing this for this. Like I said, I'm going to speak to the condo people tomorrow, but he said these fucking hydro companies are ruthless people. Fuck, they don't care. It's to basically stop people, because otherwise people would do that, right? Like basically you could rack up a big bill, a cable bill or something, and just fucking disconnect it, and then your roommate just says, you know what I mean? I just moved in. Like, it's happened to me before. I've been like, listen, I've lived with derelicts. I've been a derelict. I fucking lived in buildings after derelicts. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been through this before. Like, it wasn't foreign to me what they were saying. I was just explaining to them that I'm not that guy. right? So I've had this happen before, and I've even pulled this scam before. I've done this with cable companies. Like, you know, I've actually done that. Oh, no, that's not me. Fucking, I was someone else. It was really like, I lived with like fucking 7 dudes in this place. So we did it all the time. It was basically like, well, it's your turn to fucking rack up a bill in your name. like honestly, that's the way like it was in those days with us. No one would pay, right? It was like, well, and we actually would take deals. It was like that. It was like, all right, listen. I'll fucking owe fucking Hydro-Quebec money. You owe fucking the Bell. You owe the cable company money. And that was like, we used to like fucking show the thing. Look, fuck, I got fucking $1,700 in my name against me here. Like fucking Buddy would be like, I remember like there'd be arguments. I got the fucking Hydro. I owe fucking $3,200 fucking bucks. And then it got to the point where they just cut everything on us. Fuck, it was like, fucking. I told the story actually, and they tried to like they figured, listen, it was Montreal in the wintertime too. It's fucking cold, right? So they figured, all right, they couldn't get us out. Like, and we weren't paying. So basically, like we went really derelict. Like we stopped paying our rent. We just stopped paying anything. And we became squatters, essentially. I hate to admit it, but that's essentially what we were. I mean, when you refuse to pay your rent and you refuse to pay the electricity, and then you get pulled your electricity, and then you refuse to leave the building, I guess you're technically a squatter. So basically, like, it was like, we were like, basically, like, everyone was at war with us. Fuck. We had like the fucking electricity company at war. Like, it was like 1 by 1. Fuck. It was like, wow, they cut the water. It was like, well, all right. Fucking. And each time we'd have a plan. We'd be like, all right. We can fucking get away. We can get away around this one. And then finally it was like, boom, they cut the heat. Boom, they cut the electricity. They were just in the fucking dark. And basically we wore the owner of the building out. He was like, listen, what do you guys want? To just leave? He's like, this was the place too. We charged guest jeans. Remember I told you, like, there was a billboard on the side of our building, literally. A massive billboard, and there were all these lights, and that's what fucked us up. So basically, they needed to fucking plug in the lights in our place. There was no other way around it, and it was in our name. And we fucking hit Guest Jeans up and the company for like a lot of money for it, right? Because we're like, oh, that's going to be a lot of money, and fucking. The thing is, we were degenerates, fuck. So we took like the $1,500 that we were supposed to pay the electricity with to make sure that the lights were on the billboard, and we blew it, fuck. Like, so I'll never forget standing there fucking outside the building. I looked up, and as I'm there, it was like toof, 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 toof. All these lights start going off over the fucking sign. And I'm like, oh, fuck, man. And the Guest Jeans one's all dark, and it was around the fucking, it was like this winter like street festival outside our place too. And like fucking, it's like they wanted it to be bright and shit, So it's like, it's all dark. And we're like, oh, fuck, man. We were trying to come up with ways. We're like, man, can we get a spotlight up there somehow? And fucking. So we're like, oh boy, how long is this going to take? Fuck. It took like a week or so. And I was like, what the fuck? They're like, I remember the owner of the building. He's like, you guys are fucking idiots. He's like, they're fucking paying you all this money. All you have to do is fucking keep the fucking power on. Somehow you managed to fuck it up. It was the same building. All right. See, like Mr. Bass that's the comments. I can't go through this. Like, I don't know what part of this Bass, like I've tried to explain this like 22 times, but they were at the door today to cut the fucking power. It's not, oh, I can't believe you answered the phone. Like, I don't like it's, what do you think? If I just don't answer the phone, they're going to go away? Like, do you think, oh, yeah, they're just going to go away. They're never going to come back. But anyways. Yeah, I wish it would work. Wow, Alabama just got stopped. I'm getting a little concerned. Let's get back to the game. Talking about this just aggravates me. What's up, James McInnes? I think he was there a little early. But our in-game total, the opinion for Pence's power. Everyone's always at war with the fucking hydro companies. I never deal with it. This shit's always covered in these condos. I'm going to get to the bottom of it tomorrow. Let's just move on. Close the blinds and turn my phone off. Fake. Not even close. What the hell are they doing? Like, this had no hope in hell of working. They actually just tried to have their field goal kicker, who's a shitty athlete that can't even kick a field goal, run like 12 yards. It was 6 yards, but he's way back. Like, in what world do they think that's going to work? Our total is falling. Our in-game total is falling apart. Alabama's like falling apart. What are they doing? Either if you want to go for it, go for it. You think, oh, you're going to catch Clemson off guard. Like, Clemson just ate that up. It was like, what are you guys doing? Like, really? Okay. You're going to you want that slow white guy to try to run past this D-line? Go ahead. Like, Clemson had their defense on the field. Like, I don't know what the fuck they were doing. You have Tua. It's 4th and 6. If you want to go for it, just go for it. Fuck. Like I said earlier, they're rattled. They're not used to playing against good teams. So suddenly it's this good team in front of them, and they're trying different shit. He went for it earlier on his own 35-yard line, which he shouldn't have done. But he was frustrated. Saban was frustrated. You saw him. He was like, go. You know what I mean? Like, I don't mind trick plays. I just find it bizarre to do that. Like, your kicker sucks. So what do you think? Oh, my kicker can't kick, but he's really fast. Like, it wasn't going to work. It was a shitty, I don't even mind the fake. But number one, Clemson aren't dumb. All right. So they know your kicker sucks. And they thought this could be a fake. And they had their defensive line. That was just, you know what I mean? They kept their defense on the field. Number two, if you're Alabama, if you really want to do this, just go for it on 4th and 6 with Tua. Or, honestly, bring Jalen Hurts in now, which I think they might do. It's always sort of been a two-man operation here. Honestly, though, it's not really Tua's fault what's going on. It's just they're making plays. It's not like Tua's falling apart, but, the Alabama wide receivers, they're not wide open like they normally are. Like, that's the thing with Tua. People are like, oh, he's the greatest quarterback ever, and like, blah, blah, blah. It's like, Yeah, against fucking, the competition he played. But let's see when, like, his receivers aren't wide open. EJ Manuel was a fucking wicked college quarterback. Fuck. EJ Manuel was like 24-1 in college or something. Thing is, EJ Manuel needed you to be wide open. 24-2. He lost 2 games in his career, I think, EJ Manuel in college. Lawrence runs, gets taken down right away. It's too bad. This is a really fun game. I think there'll be a little drama. Bama will go on a little run, but all right, so what happened here? Yeah, the kid was looking. It was clearly a fake. The holder. Clemson's got to be careful not to just get conservative here. They sort of are. Already a 3rd and long. Like, this is not a long, like Clemson, this is one thing they're not doing a good job of. They don't know how to milk the clock, Clemson. It's sort of all or nothing with them. You know what I mean? Like, they'll make a big play and they'll score, but there's been, look at it earlier, fuck, they had 21 points on like 6 minutes of possession. I know there was a pick 6 in there, but even this, like, this drive's been like a fucking minute. It's already in the 3rd down. Oh, he's wide open though. Oh, boom. There's my over prop for the yards. I told you. About like the Golden State Warrior reference in the second half. You don't get the feeling Bama's like, oh, they're going to come back. It's like Clemson are just a step ahead of them. Now look, Bama players are hurt. This is getting ugly. 37-16, extra point pending. Look at that. Like, the kid on Clemson's just like pulling away from the Bama kids. I don't know where Dabo Swinney's finding. I didn't know they had football players like this in South Carolina. All right, what's the where are we at now for the yards here? There it is. Boom, we win on that play. 74 yards. Boom. We had over 243 and a half. And he was at 201 before that play. And you guys know with these props, you never know. Boom. Cash it. Fuck, that was an easy bet. Fuck me, man. I wish I fucking really, it's easy to say now, man. That I could have, should have, would have went to the book and just crushed this shit. But are you kidding me? 243 and a half yards for Trevor Lawrence. We went over the numbers today. The kid throws for like fucking 313, 285. It was like, oh, it's Bama. But like I said, either way, he either plays well and he goes over the number, or B, Bama is up big and he's playing from behind and he goes over the number. The number was too low, 243 and a half. Hopefully some of you tailed it. We posted it for you. Yeah, I think Jameis Winston was a true freshman. Jameis Winston and I think going back, Jamil Holloway with Oklahoma in like 1985. Pretty much every freshman quarterback that plays in the national title game loses, though. Sort of like we were talking about with the playoffs. When Tim Tebow was a freshman, Chris Leak was the starting quarterback. Chris Leak. Chris Leak was the starter. Tim Tebow came in and played a bit, but Chris Leak was the starter on that team. And then when Chris Leak left, Tebow took over, won another championship, and then lost once. He didn't lose in a title, but remember they lost to Alabama in the SEC game when he was crying and shit. And he said, "This will never happen again." Like, they lost one game, and it was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. We'll never lose again." I think, and he did. He lost one more game, I think, after that still. I think Tebow only lost twice in his career as a starter. Missed the extra point. Fuck me. Why do I know that these little extra points are going to come back and get me? You know they're going to come back and get me. Well, in-game total is 76.5 right now. This shit's getting serious if you're Alabama. Like, you need to score now. The game's not over yet. Listen, I think Alabama are screwed. I personally think Bama are screwed right now, but total just went up to 77.5. Clemson are now 13.5-point favorites. They're winning by 21 points. So it's minus 700 on the money line. You can, if Bama are going to miraculously come back, they're plus 475. Well, here it is. Here it is right now. They don't score on this drive. This game's done. Wow. They're down 21 and they're running the ball. I think they're concerned. Herb Street's like, "Oh, you can't just abandon the run game." Shut up, Herb Street. I think what it is, they're worried. I think they're like, "Fuck, Tua's going to turn it over." Like, I think they're a little concerned. Oh, nice catch. Nice pass. It's big chunk here. Listen, there's going to be there's going to be a big line shift here if they score. We'll keep our eye on it. Alabama are now plus 390. What were they a minute ago? Plus 450. So after that play, it moved 60 cents. Running the ball, they get nothing. They lose a yard. One thing to Herbert Street's defense and to Alabama's defense, there's still a lot of football left. There's 7 minutes left here in the quarter. You know, it's not the fourth quarter. There's no need to like fully panic and throw out everything here, right? But that fucking fake field goal thing really going to come back to bite him. That was a 10-point swing. Tua back to pass under pressure running. Nice play. First down. This Jacobs kid's fucking good, but fuck Alabama players are annoying. Like, look, Jacobs, look at Jacobs here. All right, nice play. Kid, you're down 21. He gets up and he starts mouthing off to the kid on Clemson. It's like, all right. Like Alabama, they're a hard team to like. Like they are. And you know what? They're good kids. Like when you take them, like their helmet off and you see them talking shit. They're not pricks, actually. But when you get them all together and shit, and they're in their uniform, they can't help it. Look, they win all the time, right? So they're just sort of like, they're very arrogant, but like I said, it reminded me like yesterday the Baltimore Ravens were doing that, where it was just comical. It's like, dude, you're losing the fucking game, but every tackle you make, you get up and fucking blah, blah, blah. Did you guys see the video actually? Maybe not, but I didn't tweet it out. Oh, I didn't tweet it out, but that guy, what's his name? Junin, number 90. Number 90 on the Ravens. He was running his mouth like all fucking day, man. All right. I'm not even a Charger fan, and I want to punch this guy in the face. Like, I was like, dude, like every play, he was just chirping and shit. Even though they were losing, it was comical. And I was thinking, fuck, you're an idiot. Just like these modern players. I was like, fuck, are you stupid? Like, really? You're fucking losing by 16. You just don't stop talking. And, like, you know. So he kept on trying to hurt Phillip Rivers, all right? He kept on, like, going at Rivers' knees. And he was talking shit to Rivers all the time and stuff. And Rivers is a pretty nice guy. Most people respect him, but this kid on the Ravens didn't respect anybody. You could see, like, he fucking twisted Gordon's ankle. Like, you know what I mean? He was just being a prick all day. So it was great. Fucking, he tried to get Phillip Rivers. And he ended up like fucking his knee up, like pretty good. And he was lying on the ground in pain and shit. And Phillip Rivers threw the ball. And it was a big play and shit for the Chargers. Phillip Rivers looked down on him and said, "That's what you get. That's what you get." But he said it like 10 times. "That's what you get. That's what you get." Because basically he was saying, that's what you get for being a bitch and trying to hurt me all day. He was the one that got hurt. That's the thing in football. You try to injure someone, it's going to happen like that. But Bama, like I said, it's like, yeah, whatever, kid. I fucking hate that, man. I really hate that. It's the one thing that drives me nuts about football. And it's not just college or Bama. It's not nothing against Bama, the Ravens. I hate it. Like when the Bills don't really do it because McDermott's pretty hard ass about, he's an old school guy. So the Bills really aren't, because I was going to say, I'll call the Bills out for doing it, but not too many guys in the Bills do it. And the Bills are a good example because the Bills suck, right? Like the Bills don't talk a lot of smack after plays and shit. Like, listen. You're a 6-10 team. How can you talk smack, right? But you know who does? There's a lot of teams like that. Like the New York Jets are like that for some reason. The Jets have a bunch of dudes on their team that blah, 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 blah. And it's like, whatever, dude. You suck. So keep talking. The Jacksonville Jaguars are the kings of that. Fuck. Jalen Ramsey finally shut up in about week 12 this year. Like, even when Ramsey was like 3-9, he was like, all right, I'm looking stupid. Like, but the second the Jags fucking win a game or two, he'll run his mouth again. I've always hated it. I'm going to do it. Get off my lawn. I'm going to put this in the bank. Fuck. But the fucking wide receivers, the first down. It's like, yeah, bro. It's 28-3. Fuck. You're fucking worried. You're happy he's got a first down. Conor McGregor. It's not just football. Conor McGregor is like that. Like Conor McGregor has lost 3 of his last 4 fights, but the guy talks a lot, doesn't he? Yeah. Clemson got away with pass interference, which I don't feel bad for. Fuck you, Saban. Fucking Alabama fucking commit pass interference on every play. They're going for it. Dude, if you could have just kicked the field goal before, you could have taken the 3 now. You'd have 6 points like a touchdown. I don't think they're going to get it here, 4th and 4. Going to fuck our total up. Oh, he's running for it. He's short. He's short. He didn't get it. Good job, Alabama. You're really killing my in-game total here. You guys are inside the 10-yard line. The last 2 times you get the ball, you got 0 points. Like I said, Saban, bro. Like, you know, if you don't have a kicker that can make a kick, why is he on your team? Like, they gave up 7 before. It was 30-16. They could have made it 30-19. They went for the stupid fake field goal. Next thing you know, they gave up a touchdown on a big play. Here, you know what I mean? They could have just made it 37-19. Now, here I get them going for it. But like I said, Tua's not Superman suddenly. Like, he was only 4 yards. He couldn't even pick it up. Clemson are 1 fucking play away now from just ending this. If I was Clemson, I would sort of lull Bama here. Run the ball again. Try to pick up a first down. Wear them out a little bit. Run the ball. And then boom, fuck. You know what I mean? Lower the hammer. Go for one of your just big lob plays. Let's see. Like the Alabama DBs can't cover these Clement wide receivers. Look, they're open on every play. The thing is, too, like with a team like Alabama, it's very, very psychological. Like they're not used to this. So like mentally, it's fucking them up right now in their head. It's like, man, you know what I mean? Like number 2 here is probably giving up like 2 passes all year. And suddenly this kid is like making behind the back and this and that. And like the ball's coming in fast. That's the thing with Trevor Lawrence. Like he's pretty freaking good. The ball's like an NFL pass, right? Most college kids don't have this type of zip, man. The ball gets in there fast. And for some reason, Tua seems a step slow tonight. Like he seems to be hesitant before he throws it. And you look at Lawrence right now, too. Very, very raw. Like, it's not very pretty to watch him play, but I'm just stating, imagine in 2 years when he starts to settle in and learns to play the position more. In-game total just fell to 72.5. Clemson are now minus 1,200. $37-16, going deep. Oh, boom, what a catch. Now they're trolling him. Look at this catch. It's like the Andre Hopkins shit. One arm pushes a kid from Bama off. One arm shit. Jesus Christ, Trevor Lawrence is putting on a fucking show right now. Well, let's bring it on. Next year, they can play for the 5th straight time, and we can settle this once and for all. And don't think, like, does anyone really think that it's not going to be Alabama and Clemson next year again? Tua and Trevor Lawrence are both back. Come on. Fumble. He might be down. I think he's down. He's down. It's not a fumble. It won't be a fumble. Saban's taking it pretty well on the sidelines, to be honest. He looks nervous now a bit. You don't see Saban like sort of pace like this, but he's not like yelling and freaking out. Okay, I didn't realize this kid Ross on Clemson is from Alabama. He was going to go to Alabama, but he went to Clemson instead. It's a good point. I didn't think about that. Jameis Winston's from Alabama. Yeah, hell of a run. Hell of a run by Alabama, though. It's not over yet, but the fat lady's warming up right now. This will just, like I said, guys, whatever, man. They're going to play again next year, and people will get tired of it, but at least it'll be, we'll settle something. It'll be 2-2 after this tonight. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? This kid's a freshman as well. Are you kidding me? What's this kid? This kid only catches with one hand? Holy crap. What's up, Nick Papa, Giorgio? Look how he just bounces off the big hit, too. Look at that. The guy on Alabama smoked him, and the guy in Alabama was the one that ended up on the ground. So. Look at Lawrence now. Like I said, remember I said he was getting comfortable? Look, now he's laughing and he's joking on the sidelines. Ross is all smiling. Yeah, I'd be smiling if I was Lawrence, too, and this kid was catching everything through his way. Oh, they're reviewing this. Are you kidding me? What's their review? Well, yeah, you remember, no, it wasn't that bad, actually. Corey was in a bad mood because various reasons. And no, Michelle was all right. It was a little annoying, a little bit with the cowboy talk, though. It's going to happen throughout the week, you know. They're going to lose to the Rams, though. Well, they're about to punch this shit in. This ETN kid is only he's only 19 too. It's like unbelievable. The rest of college football's screwed. Well, Bones does a lot of things behind the scenes too, Matthias. That's the thing. The bus driver is going to light the Cowboys up. It's a bad matchup for the Cowboys. I really believe it. Look, we crushed the NFL this week. All four sides we won. Our sides killed it. Oh! Oh, what a catch. I think the penalty is like a hit to the head on the guy, too. Yeah, Mark. Yeah, oh, man. I think it will be the Cowboy fans will take over. They're not going to take over, but it's going to be like half-half, I think. The Rams do have fans. It's not like the Rams don't have fans. Look, I lived in LA when the Raiders and the Rams left, and people were more mad about the Rams leaving than the Raiders. Like, the Raiders weren't really LA's team. The LA Rams are the LA Rams. Like, the LA Rams were popular before. Like when there was a poll even before they went back, which team would you want back in LA, the Rams or the Raiders? And people actually, it was surprising. People said the Rams. The thing is, the Rams were like the Anaheim Ducks. The Raiders are like the LA Kings. You know what I mean? Like the Rams played in Anaheim. They played in Disney World. They played in Anaheim. So the Rams were sort of a richer, Orange County used to be a different demographic. It used to be very Republican, John Wayne International Airport, money in Disneyland, and good high school football and shit. So like the Rams were successful. The Rams were good too. So it's not like there's not sort of a built-in base. It's not fully, but the Cowboys are still going to take over. Cowboy fans are everywhere. You can't deny that. Cowboys are a popular team. No one's going to deny that. You know what's crazy, actually? The tickets, get this. So the Rams tickets before the end of the game yesterday for next week's game were $169. That was the cheapest ticket, $169 to get into the LA Ram game. You don't know what they were playing yet. You know what I mean? But it was $169. And but the second that the people knew that the Cowboys were playing the Rams, the ticket prices went up $200. They went all the way up to $360 a ticket. Like, that's the power of the Dallas Cowboys. Like, dude, this doesn't get much more Hollywood than this. Fuck. Dallas Cowboys, LA, Los Angeles Rams, Saturday night in Los Angeles, California. This shit's big. The rating's going to be massive for this game. And just like last week, old man, Mark O'Leary, when people were talking about the Fog Bowl, I vividly remember as a kid, one of my fond memories, early Super Bowl memories, a kid be really getting into the NFL was, of course, Rams, Steelers, Rams, Cowboys. Tua goes deep. No. Remember, like Vince Ferragamo and the Rams made the Super Bowl. The Cowboys and the Steelers played, I believe it was at the Rose Bowl in the Super Bowl. That was 1980, wasn't it? 1979, 1978. And you know what's really cool? You know what's really cool, too, for this game? They're both wearing the throwbacks, even though they're both very similar. But the Rams are wearing the cool, old school blue and yellow. You know what I mean? And the Cowboys are wearing their 70s Cowboys gear. It's going to be pretty cool. Pressure's on Bama now. I mean, they have any hope in hell of coming back. 3rd and 10. Big play. Oh, fuck. He nearly ran it all the way in. In-game total, 77.5. Clemson outscored Alabama 13-0 in the 3rd quarter of play. You figure, Nick Saban adjustments and this and that, but Dabo Swinney's a badass. FanDuel's sportsbook app tonight crashed right before kickoff the national championship game between Alabama and Clemson. The New York Post. Alabama and Clemson scheduled kickoff at 8 because of a system maintenance upgrade. The issue kept people from getting last-minute bets in on the national championship game. At 8:28, FanDuel encouraged people to log in and place bets on their desktop version on computers. And it was hoping to get the app up running as soon as possible. The app was declared working at 9 p.m. DraftKings took a moment to needle FanDuel, placing a waving emoji and a retweet of Action Network's Darren Rovell tweeting about the FanDuel outage. Yeah, maintenance upgrade. Yeah, good stuff, Gino. That was an easy one, huh? Oh, there's always something here. Yesterday, look, we weren't on yesterday on the Fantasy Network because Verizon had some sort of weird flood fuck. You know, you're getting old, man, when your fucking like eyebrows have weird fucking like hairs popping up out of weird shit. Give me a quick minute here. Well, I would have given it out earlier, Gino, but they didn't have it out earlier. I'm glad that I double checked looking for the props and I stumbled upon it. It was just too low. Like I said during the show, either way, right? Either Trevor Lawrence plays well and goes over 243.5, or Alabama smokes them and he goes over 243.5 playing catch up. He really hasn't lit it up. It's just there's been like 3 or 4 of these sort of little screens that turn into big plays.
has come, for paths to be beat, and treasures won, and impossible tales to be sung. As we take on our foes, together as one. We send our fears back where they came from. Wake up, wake up, the time has come.
Introducing Wendy's $5 Giant Junior Bacon Cheeseburger Meal. For $5, this giant comes with double beef, bacon, nuggets, fries, and a drink. There's nothing cheaper about it except the price or the design. What's the difference between good and great? Good tries to get it right every time, and great actually does. With Clip Notes, you save your haircut details so you
And the good thing, actually, the smart thing is, well, actually, Tua's gone over too. Tua's actually gone over. Tua was 285.5, and he's at 295. Let me check in on my DraftKings. I played a college football DraftKings lineup, but I don't have it yet, so I'm not going to be winning. Oh, I'm actually currently winning $5. I'm in 216th place out of how many people? 1585. Because I got Trevor Lawrence as my captain. He's got 43 points. I've got T. Higgins, wide receiver, Clemson. He's got 17 points. I got Jerry Jeudy, Alabama. He's got 27.9. Hunter Renfro's giving me jack shit, but he was cheap. Devontae Smith's got 12.5, and Tua. So basically, if Alabama, which they should, if Alabama score a bit, they should get a couple of more fantasy points. I actually like the Knicks plus the points tonight. It's only 8.5 now, though, so I don't want to jump in on the in game. I'm losing the value. I'm starting to heat up a little bit. What's up, Brandon C? We didn't do the fantasy football. It was my bad, fuck. I wanted to set it up. I didn't. I was overwhelmed with everything going on here. We'll send you a transfer. So what the hell just happened here? I stepped out for a second. I thought they were on the 1 yard line, 2 yard line. They didn't score? They just got stopped? Are you shitting me? Now, one thing I'm realizing now, not realizing, I thought about it earlier in the day a bit, but like my Super Bowls, I'm not good in the Super Bowl. I mean, yeah, I'm not as bad. I've sort of closed the gap a bit, but I've definitely had like many more losing Super Bowls than winning Super Bowls. Like we've gone over them. I was like fucking 2-5 in a 7-year run in the Super Bowl. Like basically the only Super Bowls I won were the New York Giants against the Patriots. There's been a few along the way, but pretty much every time I've really smashed a Super Bowl, I lost. Besides, there's been a few, but one Super Bowl I remember I really hit hard and I won was, I don't know why I hit this one hard either, but was Green Bay. Green Bay when they played Pittsburgh, fuck. I was pretty locked in. I don't know why. I was convinced Green Bay was going to win, and they did. And I hit the over, and I hit like all these props. And I remember I cashed the tickets. That was the lingerie bowl game. And we hit the lingerie bowl. I remember like going back to the Luxor and Mandalay after, and it was just like a ticket fucking cash fest, fuck. Like even the guys at the window were like, fuck, did you lose a ticket, buddy? I was like, fucking ding, 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 drink, drink. It was like just waiting, like I was just pulling them out of every pocket. I was like, hold on, I think I got a lingerie one for 800. I was like, fucking here. And they sort of shanked the punt. but I got a good bounce. That was a really good one. I've had a lot of bad Super Bowls, but national championships is the other way. It's pissing me off. Like, I'm actually bothered by this, that I didn't go to the sports book tonight. I actually knew. I was like, man, if you go to the book, you're going to win a lot of money tonight because this game's going to go the way you think it will. Fuck me. But I think right now we can go over it. But I think I'm like 12-2 type shit over the last 14 years in national title football games, college. There's sports and there's certain situations that I repeat myself. Like, I am a very consistent gambler in that sense. Like, I'm consistent in my failures and I'm consistent in my successes. You know what I mean? It's strange like that. Like, I always kill the NFL playoffs. What happened this week? I killed the NFL playoffs. I always kill the NFL playoffs and lose the Super Bowl. I always fucking win the first day of March Madness. Always. like this year I'm going all fucking in. Like, the first day. Because I know I'll win. Like, it's Bizarro World. I'll win the first Thursday all the time. And I'll always, like, the Friday is an adventure. Like, Friday is like hit or miss. But that first Thursday, I always do well. Like, CFL playoffs for years. Fuck. I swear to God, it's like fucking 10 years in a row, man. Like, there were a few years in the CFL playoffs, I'd go like 8-0. Like, it was uncanny. I always do well in the first couple of weeks of the NFL. There's certain parts of the college season I do better and worse in and repeat all the time. So I knew, like, national titles, like, I'm telling you, like, I'm telling you, like, going back like a long ways, guys, to like fucking, like, this streak started like when Michael Vick was at Virginia Tech. I was on Florida State type shit. You know what I mean? Like, I've really been good with the national title games. Like, even with these, like this, I'll be 3-0 if we hit this one. Like, the first time Clemson played Alabama in a national title game, I remember it vividly. It was the weekend we finished in the super contest and shit. I went big on it. I was in Vegas that week and I played a lot on the fucking Will Hill app. I fucking had tickets. I bet it online. I bet a shitload on that game. I bet the over and I bet Alabama on the money line. Alabama, I got it at like minus 190 or 200 or something. I went fucking pretty big on Bama on the money line, and I took the over, and Bama won by 5. And then the next year, I took Clemson. I didn't take Clemson on the money line, though. I took Clemson plus the points, and I took the over, and I won. Last year, we won't count it. I was on Clemson, but that wasn't the national title game. What was the national title game last year? Alabama versus who? Oh, Alabama versus Georgia. Yeah. I remember I was on the over. I don't remember my fucking play. I generally bet against Bama in these big games. And it's not because I think Bama blow, but because they're overvalued, they're overfavored because of their name and shit, right? You know, like I said, yeah, they'll beat Oklahoma by fucking 10 or 11 points. And they beat them by, I said 9, 10, 11 points type shit. And they won by 11 points. This game, they weren't overvalued. Like, the odds makers and the sharp money. It's one thing that I've learned my lesson too this year. Normally, I don't care. Like, in the NFL, when I see, somebody bet 200,000, I'm like, I don't care. The guy could just be a rich guy. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean he knows what he's doing. But in college, I've noticed this. Like, and we'll remember this for next year if we're alive, all of us. Hopefully we all are. Say a prayer. But for next year, is that the line movement was right in all these bowl games. Like the early line movement. And college football is different than the pros. Like, college football is sort of a niche betting sport. Like, we think it's really big, but in the betting market, it's not that big in comparison to the NFL or the NBA even and shit. Like, college football isn't as big of a bet sport as we imagine it is. It is. There's a shitload of money on these games, but I'm just stating from like a line perspective and a large market move and shit. it doesn't take as much money for college. And the people that bet college, like where I'm going with this is somebody bets the fucking AutoZone Liberty Bowl and you see a 2 or 3 point line movement fucking 10 days before the game. You know, it's probably a pretty serious, smart fucking player that knew what he was doing on that. Like, not too many, like, just Johnny fucking idiots who are like, yeah, I'm going to put fucking 25K on Louisiana Tech 2 weeks before this bowl game. Right? Like, you know, they're doing it because they think, oh, I got a serious angle here on this. And usually I don't really follow that square, sharp bullshit because it is a lot of crap. In pro sports, it is. In pro sports, they don't know. No one really knows. College, they do. Like a good example is this Golden Nugget contest I was in. And it turned out I ended up finishing in 97th place, which is pretty weak, out of 308 people. So we finished in 97th place. Our record wasn't terrible, but it wasn't good enough. It was 65. We had 65 wins, 50 losses, and 4 pushes. So, hey, if you're a handicapper and you're selling that or whatever, that's not bad. You know what I mean? Hey, you know, if you said on the year, listen, that's you're honest about it, it's all documented, it's Golden Nugget, whatever. So I went 65, 50, and 4. You know, plus 15 units. You know what I mean? You know, on an average of a year, so it's like winning a unit a week, whatever. It's not great, but it's better than a lot of fucking handicapping services are, and a lot of people that are so-called whatever, this and that. So, you know, it was strong, but the problem was the fucking winner, man, had 83 wins. The guy was like 83 and 28 or something stupid like that. It was like ridiculous, his record. Like, I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen anything like that in the super contest. But the difference was college, and the guy murdered college. And, you know, he had the edge. Like, some people have an edge in college. You need time. If you have a lot of time, you can do edges in college. Like, there are soft numbers in college football. Because the thing is, in college football, there are mismatches. In pro sports, there's not really mismatches. You know, there are a few teams are better than another team, but generally, there's not really a mismatch per se. Yeah, I talk about it a lot. You know, like the Buffalo Bills have more talent than the New England Patriots do, right? But, you know, the Cleveland Browns do too. Like, the Browns are loaded. You know, like I said, you look at the Patriots skill position players and everything. It's just that Belichick's a great coach, and Brady's, you know, Brady's the best. You know, and Gronk was good. Like, they sort of have isolated greatness, but, you know, basically, like in pro sports, coaching means a hell of a lot. You know, like, look, the Minnesota Timberwolves have a shitload of talent. Like, the T-Wolves have, like, top 5 talent in the NBA on their roster. Like, if you look at each position, there's no excuse for them not to be good. But they're not, you know. So I'm just stating, like, in pro sports, it's pretty equal. You know what I mean? Like, you're dropping 10 guys on an NBA floor. In the NFL, you're dropping 22 dudes on the field, and they're all first-round picks. You know, they're all second-round picks. They're all third-round picks. Like, they're all equals. You know what I'm saying? Like, the only difference really is coaching, game plan, desire. You know, there's intangibles, but from an athletic standpoint, most pro leagues, the teams are all equal. I mean, there's so much parity in sports. They all have the same rules. They all draft in the same draft. You know, they all have the same players, really. And you'll see, like, sometimes players will be on one team and they're not that good, but they go to another team and they're good, right? So it's more like the system and the coach and stuff. But in college sports is different. That's why, like, college sports is the best sport to bet on, really. Like, I'm a pretty good pro sports bettor, though. But college sports is better to bet on because there are physical mismatches. You know, like in college basketball, you know what I mean? Like, Bradley aren't as good as Duke. You know, like, and there's like 300 examples of that. You know what I mean? You know, Miami, Ohio aren't as good as Ohio State. Like, there's just sort of, they're not going to beat them. Like there's just sort of there's like such a talent discrepancy between schools, and even college basketball has been pretty neutralized recently, but more neutralized than it's ever been. But college football is the best example of that. Like there's really no major upsets in college football. Yeah, App State beat Michigan fucking 12 years ago, 15 years ago. People bring, App State. Yeah, whatever, dude. Yeah, that was a long time ago. It was one game. Yeah, Liberty beat Baylor. There's been a few exceptions. But basically, like, talent size wins in college football. So, like, if you know the edges and, you have enough time to research it, I'm not just talking about read up on trends and shit, but I'm talking about watch the games, watch the teams, know that, yeah, you know what? These kids don't have a hope in hell against these kids. Like, I'm pretty successful about betting college sports under college basketball especially. Like, college basketball, like you'll hear Corey say often, we argue about this, that he's like, oh, it's irrelevant. Well, he's like, oh, it didn't matter what happened in last Clemson Bama games, but it does. It's Saban versus Sweeney. You know what I mean? It's the system. It's the school. It's the coach. And the late, great Dave Malinsky, and cheers to Dave right now tonight, because I thought about it. Man, I remember Dave came on at halftime the last couple of championship games, including last year. But Dave would talk about that too with trends. That he said, Dave was like, I don't really go to trends like back to, since 1980, this has happened. But he says, I do buy into trends if it's the same coaches. Doesn't have to be the same players, but the same coaches. Right? Because the coaching is sort of the team, right? That's the identity of the team, especially in college football. The players are interchangeable. It's the coach. You know what I mean? Dabo Sweeney won with Deshaun Watson. He's about to win with Trevor Lawrence right now. It's Dabo Sweeney and the program. It's not, you know what I mean? It's the program. Yes, Duke Williams is definitely going to make the Bills next year. Yeah, Dave was a great guy. Great guest, great guy. Miss his stories, his insight. Yeah, Cam Newton's brother, Shano, actually technically has the biggest upset in football history, but it's actually bullshit. It's actually like skewed. And the crazy thing is, I was in Vegas that day. And I didn't live there anymore. It was when I moved out, but I went back. I was there because whatever, with the contest or that weekend, whatever. I remember being with T-Bone, and we were standing in the Westgate, and everyone from Howard was there. There was like 1,000 Howard fans, like the band and everyone, and they were all happy in Vegas. They're all drinking and shit, and the parents and everyone. And we were joking. We're like, man, they ain't gonna be so happy after the game. They're fucking 43-point underdogs. We didn't go to the game. UNLV Stadium's in the middle of nowhere. It was Howard, UNLV, whatever. But the thing is, no one knew. No one knew anything about fucking Howard. You know what I mean? So no one knew, and I should have known. I'm still mad at myself about this, actually. That I did not know, Shano, it was Cam Newton's brother at quarterback. So yeah, Cam Newton has a little brother, and his brother was the quarterback. And, they were literally 43.5 point. It might have been 45. I think it was 43, though. They were 43-point underdogs and against UNLV. But the thing is, because, Howard were like fucking 0-12 the year before or something. They were really bad. And, it's a black college. It's not like it's not a Power 5 conference team. So UNLV booked these guys because they were trying to get into a bowl game. Right? So UNLV booked them. Like UNLV used to book like tough games to start the year to make money, to sell tickets and shit and get the paycheck. So, like, I remember when we lived there, like, Wisconsin played them in the first game. Wisconsin went there. Oregon State, you know what I mean? Like, UNLV used to, like, try to book, like, these big power teams in the first game to get money. And they used to get smoked. But they would backdoor cover, so not smoke, but they, you know what I mean? They get beat up. But when they got the new coach that came in, he wanted to get wins to get into a bowl game. So he was like, "We're not playing Wisconsin anymore. Fuck, we're not going. Like, we're not doing this." So he totally switched things up, and they canceled games. They redid their schedule and shit, and then they loaded it with, like, you know, Jackson State, Howard, and, you know, Grambling, AT&T, and all this shit. North Carolina A&T, like, they went real soft. And it was basically like a desperate ploy to get to 6 wins. And they ended up losing. Fuck. They lost. They lost the game. And technically, it was the largest point spread loss ever. But the thing is, UNLV aren't a good team. Like, yeah, so it's not really, it was like a massive upset. It was just a bad point spread. And Cam Newton's brother ran wild and shit. He didn't complete many passes, but he ran around everywhere on UNLV. He rushed for like 200 yards or something. And people realized, oh my God, it's Cam Newton's brother. And so the funny thing is, the next week, Howard, the next week they were playing against Kent State. And Kent State are terrible. And instead of getting like 40 or shit, they were getting like 6. It was ridiculous. Like, everybody jumped on them. And they got smoked. I don't even know if they won another game. It was one of those weird deals. Like, I don't know how, like, UNLV, you know, UNLV are like that. But the crazy thing is about this story is UNLV lost to Howard. And me and T-Bone saw them all coming back, and they were even happier. And we're like, what the fuck, man? We're like, I can't believe we didn't know it was Cam Newton's brother. We would have bet it. Like, I would have just blindly bet it in Vegas for sure. And yeah, the funny thing is, I forget who UNLV played the next week. Oh, man, I'm good at this shit for what year it was. If I knew what year it was, I remembered I could pop it up. It wasn't that long. It was probably 2015. Just tired right now. Let me see. 2015 UNLV schedule. I think it was. Take a guess. 2015 UNLV football. I want to see who they played the next week. Because I remember it was like, wow, they were supposed to win against Howard. And then the next one, they were supposed to lose. And then I swear to God, they beat like a big team the next week that they were never supposed to win against. Okay, so it's not 2015. It must have been, was it 16? 2016. No. It wasn't 2017, was it? Wasn't last year, was it? Could have been. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Yeah, so they lost 43-40 to Howard. And that was it. The next week, they went to Idaho. I know it's only Idaho, but they weren't supposed to win the game. All right, like Idaho actually weren't bad. Idaho were actually pretty good in that dome up there, the Vandals. And Idaho were big favorites in the game. And they won the game. Like, people had them slated to win and lose. So, like, they evened it out. Then they got smoked by UNLV, but they actually covered against UNLV. Then they smoked San Jose State. Wasn't a bad UNLV team that year, actually. They're a weird team, UNLV. Like, UNLV are capable of, like, pulling off a big, you know, not a big upset, but, you know, like, they went to a bowl game and shit. They won 6 games one year, 7 games or whatever. But they're also capable of losing to Howard. Right? So we're not getting the in game. We're lucky we got the over. This game just creeped over, man. Barely got there by one score. We'll see what happens here, actually, with Clemson if they score again. It's a nice moment when you see this. Big lineman's balling like a kid right now on Clemson. He won. Dabo Sweeney giving him a big hug, thanking him. That's the thing. Like a lot of the coaches, you can tell like the players, whatever. Like they'll play for a guy, but they don't really love him. You know what I mean? Dabo Sweeney, they love him. It's kind of weird. Like he's really, he's a different guy. Yeah. He's very raw and stuff, but he's serious too. But he's very family orientated. You know what I mean? Like Nick Saban, like doesn't talk to the team very much. Like they're coached by the assistants, and you know they don't all hate him, but it's not. You know what I mean? No one's gonna miss him. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, he's just sort of there. They understand that he's gonna help them, like get to the NFL, but like you can see, it's just different with Dabo Sweeney. Like you know, like when Alabama wins, they hug each other. When Clemson wins, they're all going to the coach and like, oh, and they're like, it's just a different atmosphere. You know, look, 2 years ago when they lost Alabama, Saban said after that too many kids on my team were just concerned about the NFL Combine coming up and not this game. Said they're all going to the NFL and they don't really care. I don't think you can say that about this Bama team. You know what I mean? This Bama team's pretty young. They have a few dudes going to the NFL, but I just think it's a case of sort of like I warned that Alabama are like a UFC fighter that beat the crap out of a lot of people. I'm not saying they beat only bad teams. Like they beat good teams too, but there's no one on their level. Clemson's on their level, and it screwed them up. And Clemson actually looked more on their level tonight than like a higher level than it. Trevor Lawrence wins a national championship. What's amazing is people have often thought that Dabo Sweeney will take over at Alabama once Nick Saban leaves. If you're unaware, Dabo Sweeney played at Alabama and actually won a national championship in 1992 with Gene Stallings. So Dabo Sweeney's got Bama in his blood. And he's never even denied it. Like, it's not like, oh, no. You know what I mean? Like, Tua's a good kid. Well, let's hear Dabo. Well, I knew he was going to thank Jesus.
So deserving of a moment like this and never get the chance to experience to get through it once and never get to do it again. You know, I guess it's just a simple lesson. It's just simply a place to go over and allow us to experience something like this. I'm so happy for our team, our fans, our administration, our former players that love the ball. And you know, there ain't never been a 15-year-old team. And I know we're not supposed to be here. We're just a little old Clemson, and I'm not supposed to be here, but we are, and I am. And how about the Tigers, man? I'm so proud of our guys, these seniors. We beat Notre Dame in Alabama. We left no doubt, and we walked off this field tonight as the first 15-0 team in college football history. And all the credit, all the glory goes to the good Lord, number one, and number two, to these young people. When you get a young group of people.
Season class act. Number one, credit to God. Number two, credit to the players.
To better look out. Great things can happen, and that's what you saw tonight. After 4 games, you made a decision. You chose Trevor Lawrence to become your quarterback. What did you
I remember years ago, there was controversy. The media was like freaked out because Dabo Sweeney makes his team pray before games. They're like, you can't make fucking kids pray. It's school and university. You can't do this. And they based all the players said he's not making anyone do anything. Like basically, it was he's into God and shit, but he's not. You know what I mean?
This is the most amazing champion ever. The University of Alabama and what they've done and Coach Saban.
Yeah, it was a great Alabama team they beat. 14-0, like I said. And you said this is the first time that the winner is 15-0, man. Hard to believe. It's hard to do. Well, 44-16. Final score. What, did Drake jump on the Alabama bandwagon? They're going to play next year again. I'll talk about that on the morning show tomorrow. Drake did a video with a Bama hoodie. Thought he was a Kentucky fan. Is that just Kentucky basketball, but just when they're good? Drake really is a fucking mush, man. We need him to stay far away from the Raptors, fuck. Thing is, though, as soon as they're in the fucking playoffs, he's going to be all courtside again and shit. Listen, you can't fucking listen. I'll live with it. What's up, Mingo? I'll live with it. I can live with it if someone says, you know what I mean? Look, I'm a Michigan basketball fan. I'm a Michigan football fan. All right? I'm a Michigan fan, right? But people that are sort of, fake college fans that, I'm a fan of this team and that, and this team and that, whatever. But you can't be the fan of two different teams in the same conference like that. You know what I mean? You can't say, I'm a Michigan football fan or Ohio State football fan, but Michigan basketball fan. Like, it's okay. Like, everyone has a favorite team in a conference or something. Like we all know Michigan's my team. Right? We all know Michigan's my team, but, I'll lay it down on UNLV when I was living in Vegas or whatever. I'm following the Mountain West. You know what I mean? Like Big 12, Kansas, my team in the Big 12. It's always been. Right? I'm not a Kansas fan, but when it comes to Big 12 basketball, I pull for Kansas. But you can like other teams. You can like other teams, but you can't like two teams in the same division or conference. You can't be like, oh, yeah, I'm a Bills fan and a Jets fan. Like, college is a little different, but yeah, especially in the same conference. Like, Alabama and Kentucky don't like each other. You know what I mean? Yeah, like you can have your soft spot in your heart for like the lower tier programs. You know, like Central Michigan, Toledo's and shit like that. Buffalo Bulls. But Drake's problem is like, yeah, Drake's just annoying. Exactly. That's the thing. Like, what's the next team he's going to jump on the wagon of? Like Duke, Zion Williams, RJ Barrett now? It's like, oh, before you were a Kentucky guy, now you're a Duke guy? And you notice he never jumps on like the underdog wagon. You know what I mean? Like, how come Drake doesn't like pimp fucking Gonzaga gear? Because Gonzaga, whatever, he doesn't want to suck up to Gonzaga. You know what I mean? You know, that was an interesting game tonight in the sense that it started out really exciting. It started out really exciting. But all in a great game. But what was interesting about the game that made it not boring, even though it was a rout, was there was like a shock factor. It was like watching like Mike Tyson lose or something. You know what I mean? Like every time Clemson make a big play, it was like, oh my God, wow, look at that. Like it sort of had like sort of it had an intense factor to it. Well, we screwed up the end game. We got a little greedy, but it's all right. We still did well. And for those of you on Patreon to follow the picks, we went 3-0. What's up, Kiru? Yeah, I guess the video is from years ago, a few years ago. I think the video is from a few years ago. Still a stupid thing for Drake to do, but like I said today on the show, like these, I'm telling you, man, like in the rap world and shit, not just the rap world, because in the past, you know what I mean, it was like a rock thing, but in today's day and age, it's more and more, it's like acceptable in the rap world. Like it doesn't end your career. Like that kid, that 6'9", whatever his name is. There was a video of that kid having sex with a 13-year-old kid. Didn't stop him. He had a video with fucking Puff Daddy and Nicki Minaj, and he had commercial success. Didn't matter. You know, I go down the list. Fuck. Like I was reading this thing about R. Kelly, and I'm not obsessed with this R. Kelly documentary. I didn't watch it and shit. I don't care. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not saying I don't care about fucking victims, but whatever, man. R. Kelly's been doing this shit for a long time. And if people want to voluntarily go into his fucking house, then you know what I mean? They're going into his house. Like, what do you want? But anyways, I'm just saying, I know there's an R. Kelly documentary, in which I guess R. Kelly looks like a real monster. And it said it was just about everyone that has stood up with R. Kelly, or like basically like Jay-Z and R. Kelly were on a tour together like last summer. You know what I mean? Like, so it's not like Jay-Z doesn't know, right? Now, Jay-Z kicked him off the tour, but it had nothing to do with any allegation or anything like that. That's something, it just had something to do because R. Kelly was a fucking diva to work with and a bitch to work with on the tour. I guess he caused a lot of problems. So, had nothing to do with like any moral stance. You know what I mean? Like, you can go down the list and shit. Like Nicki Minaj's brother's like in jail or something, or got out of jail for having sex with a minor. Nicki Minaj's fucking fiance got charged with having sex with a minor. Nicki Minaj did a video with that fucking kid that fucking had sex with a 13-year-old. You know, we go down the list, like go on and on. Listen, the guy in Headley, it's a little bit different. And I'm not, you know, listen, I know there's a lot of real victims out there and shit, but the guy in Headley, I think this is, you know, whatever, man. The guy was a singer of a rock band. Do you really think that guy was like locking chicks up on buses and shit? Like, I hate to say it too, because I hate to be like the one person in the world right now to defend fucking Kevin Spacey, because I think the guy is a creep. But I'm not really sure what they're charging him with, like in this little thing today, you know, or the court stuff. I'm not saying that Kevin Spacey never did anything to anyone, but like, I've watched enough Matlocks to know, like, you don't have a case. Like, there's no case here. Like, I don't know, like, it's a waste of time. Like, you're really, it is just sort of this Me Too shit where everyone gets crazy and like, it's pretty clear cut. Like Kevin Spacey, if you don't know, like this for this one specific trial type thing, which is, that's the only important thing because everything else is civil. So he's got one trial, and the kid worked in this bar restaurant. All right. I guess he was a busboy or a waiter or whatever the hell he was. All right. He was 18 years old. So he's 18 years old. He works in a restaurant. He finishes work and introduces himself to Kevin Spacey because he's a fan of Kevin Spacey. Everyone in the restaurant and bar was excited that Kevin Spacey was there. So Kevin Spacey says to the kid, "Hey, how you doing?" Says, "Hey, don't you work here? I just saw you working here." He goes, "Yeah, I just finished." And he goes, "Are you old enough to drink?" And the kid says, "Yes, I'm 23 years old." So as I stated, I'm not down with what Kevin Spacey did after, but the thing is, they're like, "Oh, Kevin Spacey attacked a minor." Like, he didn't attack a minor. He's in a bar restaurant in front of people. Like, he didn't like grab the kid and like pull him into the bushes. He was in front of everyone. Like, he was openly drinking and putting his arm around him and stuff. Like, basically, you know, like trying to pick him up, essentially. He said he was 23. He's in a bar. If anything, this bar is irresponsible for letting this kid drink. Like I said, I'm not defending Kevin Spacey. I'm just stating in this instance, I don't see, like, this will get tossed out in day one. It should be like, the kid's in a bar. He said he was 23. No one stopped this. You know what I mean? Like, if you're in a bar and someone, you know, and another thing is, whatever, man. You know what I mean? I don't want to be crude about this, but whatever. You got drunk with Kevin Spacey, who everyone knows is gay, and you think Kevin Spacey was buying drinks for you? You think if I met Kevin Spacey, he'd buy drinks for me? No. You know what I mean? Like, come on, kid. Like, you know, really? I mean, basically, you wasted Kevin Spacey's time. I hate to put it that way, but you go and flirt with Kevin Spacey and then act surprised that Kevin Spacey hits on you after, and then you cry about it. I don't see what the criminal thing is. I really don't. Like, I'm just being honest. I don't see what the crime is here in this that Kevin Spacey did. All right, so I guess he grabbed the kid's crotch or whatever, but you know, Like, is that the deal now? Like, is that it? Now, listen, on the other side of this, Kevin Spacey's a creep. That video he did was extremely weird, right? But, and another thing is too, if you're an 18-year-old kid who's in good physical shape, who works in a ritzy upscale fucking restaurant in Nantucket with a bunch of rich people, I don't know about you, but when I was 18, like I was living in Hollywood, and like if some dude stuck his hand down my pants, I would have punched him in the face. I wouldn't be crying about it on the news after either. You know, like I'd say to the guy, I think you misunderstood me. You know what I mean? Like, honestly. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if that's the situation, basically, and you're partying, you basically say, Mr. Spacey, I'm a big fan of your work, but I actually have a girlfriend and I'm not interested. I'm very flattered. Thank you. And you leave the party. You know, like, I don't see where you call the cops, what, 2 years later? Like, you know what I mean? Oh, 2 years later, you're upset by this now? It's like there was missed signals. He hit on you. You know what I mean? Seemed like you were interested, and then you weren't. Like, I don't know. Like I said, I don't like Kevin Spacey. I don't want to somehow I'm this guy that's defending him here. But on this instance, legally, I really don't see what this case is. Like, if I was the judge, I wouldn't even accept this. I'd say, what do you guys want? Like, what's your deal here? If anything, I'll say, listen, we're going to charge you. You were the one that drank underage. Fucking, you know what I mean? You're the one that, like, fucking Kevin Spacey could sue. Like, I'd twist this. If I was an attorney, I'd look at it like, you know what? This kid ruined your life, Spacey. He said he was 23. You know what I mean? Is it a crime to make a sexual advance in someone in today's day and age? Yes, I guess it is, right? That's what we're at now. Like I said, it's crude what we're talking about here, but it is what it is. Like, you drink with, you know what I mean? It's like if you go hang out with Milos Yiannopoulos or something at a bar all night, and then you're surprised that he fucking sticks his tongue down your throat, right? Oh yeah, I went to this crazy party at David Bowie's last night, and I was shocked. Fuck, David Bowie, you know what I mean? It's like, oh yeah, I know. Who'd have imagined? Fuck, right? And then you get the real word, exactly like Oman saying. He's an 18-year-old kid whose mother is a star newscaster. Come on, like the kid, you know what I mean? Then it turns out the kid wants to be an actor. Oh yeah, no shit. Exactly. Exactly. That's the thing, Lion, that you can be a jerk. Like there was the same thing like with some dude at the New York Times, the Glenn Thrush guy. He's a big reporter, Glenn Thrush, whatever. He's a jerk. I don't like the guy. You know what I mean? I'm sure he is an asshole in real life. But basically, he went out and got drunk with like a chick that worked at the New York Times all the time. And whatever, he hit on her in a bar, fuck. And she complained to HR. Now, listen, I understand and the dude got like suspended and nearly fired and shit. And like it ruined his career essentially. And listen, I understand that, you know, if you harass some woman at work in the elevator at work and you're like, go out with me, please go out with me. And you make her uncomfortable. It's a little bit different if you're some chick in New York City and you're voluntarily going out to a bar with this guy for a month, and then you're shocked that one night he reached in and tried to kiss you, right? You know, that's what I'm saying. Once again, I'm not saying again. Who is the other guy, the Aziz guy or whatever his name is? As if, you know what I mean? The as if or Aziz. I never know the guy's name. He's like the Indian comedian guy. And one day, same thing. Like his name was smeared all over the place. Oh my God, he date raped someone. And then it turned out, no, it wasn't that at all. He was a bad date. And he was bad in bed. And it was awkward. He didn't do anything. He went on a date. It was a bad date, and the girl didn't like him and decided to fucking write a piece about how he was a creep and how he wanted sex only on the date. She was surprised. It's like, yeah, he's a man. So I'm sorry. But like I said, I'm not saying the guy's the nice guy in the world, but like even that Me Too thing got shuffled. People are like, this lady's crazy. Like I remember even like Alyssa Milano, who's like a nut job, said, oh, he's a good guy. And this is just, this isn't right. NHL Dogs 5-0. Fuck, I knew it tonight. I knew it, Baz. I said it on Game Time Decisions tonight when I was looking at the Dogs, man. The Dogs caught my eye. No, same with the John Gameshi guy. creepy dude, but didn't do anything illegal. Same thing. They ruined the guy's career. It worked. It worked. They ruined his career. Now, like, the guy wrote a book and people are pissed. How dare he? It's like, what do you mean, how dare he? He went to court. He was found not guilty. Like, you want the guy to screw off now anyway? It's like, that chick on the Trailer Park Boys was crazy, all right? And I'll tell you, I know, because I know Sam Lasco. And he told me, he goes, she's full of shit. Fuck. He goes, she's full of shit. You know what I mean? And he goes, I know she's full of shit because she fucking was batshit crazy on our set. She accused fucking Bubbles of shit. Like after when Bubbles got accused of something, same thing. He didn't really do it. And she fucking said, oh, I knew he did it, whatever. Like Sam was like, they didn't like her. You know what I mean? They were happy when she wanted to leave the show. They were like, bye-bye. Like, don't let the door hit you on the way out type thing. And of course, like, they weren't surprised. Sweet told me, he goes, I'm not surprised she ended up fucking going after, like, Gameshi. No, but yeah, what did I say with the hockey tonight? There was a couple of dogs. I didn't say take all 5 dogs, guys. I didn't say take all 5 dogs, but there were a few games tonight where there was two hockey games that I isolated. I said, I don't know, those dogs look kind of live, don't they? We'll start betting hockey now. The shit's winding down. I'm going to bet underdogs only. Well, we're going to hit it. But I got to get out of here. We got to start shutting down earlier, but it was national championship night tonight. At least I didn't go and get drunk like part of me wanted to. Fun show, though, tonight. Our condolences to you, Bama fans. Congratulations to, we'll send tweet to camera to Drew. He's a diehard Clemson fan. Can't win them all, Drew. Shout out to our boy in Jones in Alabama. I know he's a patron, actually. Class act. I don't see him here tonight, but yeah, it's a good point about Mike Pence. You're right. It's the same thing, Nick. Trust me, it's crossed my mind, Nick. There's a lot of hot waitresses and shit. I don't meet a lot of chicks, right? So the chicks I meet are all these waitresses in that bar Versa. But the thing is, it's like, you know, I don't know. They're friendly and shit, but it's like, for all I know, you know what I mean? I'm going to fucking ask one of them out, and they're going to someone's going to come up to me and say, did you ask someone that works in this building out, Laura? You can't, you know what I mean? She filed a complaint. Fucking. So I'm like, fuck it. You know what I mean? Same shit, Nick. I'm like, screw it. I'm like, I don't need the bullshit, you know? That's the world that we're in now. I sound like Tucker Carlson. The families are going to hell because of this fucking Me Too movement. It's true, though. It's true. Like, I see all these chicks walking around with their dogs and shit. You fucking talk to them, and it's like, everyone's so uptight nowadays. People only meet online. That's the new way. Like when I was younger and shit, like sort of like online dating. Well, online before the internet, it used to be like phone and shit. But like in the early days, online dating. Exactly, Nick. You almost have to do it in a situation like that where there's no confusion. Like you're in a sleazy bar. You know what I mean? But I remember like in the old days, it was like, oh, online. It was kind of like it was like, what, you can't meet anyone in real life? Like, what are you going online for? And it was kind of like, not losers, I'd say. I'm sure there was hot chicks. I knew this hot chick that actually told me she used to date online. I was shocked. I was like, I don't know why, you're fucking pretty hot. But anyway. But nowadays, it's the only way. Like, I'm just saying, like, I remember 20 years ago, it was something people were ashamed of. You know what I mean? It wasn't something you told people. Nowadays, like, I was at my brother's house and his friends were there and they were just talking, oh, yeah, I'm going out with this Tinder chick in an hour. And like, fucking, Everything's, it's like Uber. Fuck. People just like, oh, I'm getting a date on my phone right now. Ding, 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 ding. They just click, click. That's what Michelle's telling me. She's like, oh, I'm going to set up a Bumble account for you. We're going to sit down. We're going to find a great girl. Shit. And I'm like, it's a little weird online, Michelle. Like, it's funny. Even I was talking to a guy who remained nameless in Vancouver the other day. He's like, oh, yeah. He goes, I did a lot of the online dating. This guy, like, he always bangs chicks and shit. He's like, I did a lot of online dating. He goes, it's all right, but he goes, no one's ever what they appear to be. I'm like, yeah, no shit. He goes, no. He goes, a lot of them are hot. He goes, you'd be surprised. He goes, a lot of hot chicks, but he goes, it's not the same. He goes, you have good chemistry online, but in real life, it's different. He goes, I prefer to meet people in real life still, but he goes, the online shit's all right. Hey, what's up, Colin P? Thanks for the kind words. See, Brian Rowe. Yeah, everyone loves Bumble. Tinder's for younger people. I guess Bumble's where it's at for the middle-aged. That's not good, Muhammad. I don't know how you managed to get banned from fucking Bumble, but I got to get out of here. This could be a story for tomorrow. Nate Brooks. Hey, listen, Brooks is a player. Yeah, I know. I need black chicks at like whitedudes.com. I guess Bumble, the chicks, like you just put your shit up and the chicks contact you. So it avoids you looking like a creep hitting on a bunch of chicks too. But nevertheless, like I said, it's too bad because a couple of the waitresses were supposed to come on Friday night to the show, but they worked at the fucking pro rodeo shit at Madison Square Garden that night. It is what it is. But now that the football season will be winding down in the next couple of weeks, I'll have time to get out more and life will get better. All right, I got to get out of here. Good show in the morning coming up. We got the Tim Tittle guy that's on Sports Byline before us, syndicated radio guy in the morning. He's based out of Oakland. I think his studio in San Francisco, but he's an Oakland fan and shit. I think he lives in Oakland, whatever. He's in the Bay Area. He was at the football game tonight, so he's going to give us a recap, what it was like at the game. And we got Liam McHugh, who hosts hockey coverage on NBC Sports Network. And, we couldn't just get him because of that. Cardano, what the hell are you doing booking the NBC Sports hockey guy? But he's also the co-host. He holds the mic for The Rock. I don't know, man. The Rock's got some new reality show, Titan Fights or Titan something. Fuck. I fucking hate those shows. I don't hate them. I understand why they're popular, but, they're all just like American Gladiator, but newer. You know what I mean? Challenge this, and The Rock yells at you and shit. It's called something like that, Titan something. But this guy, Liam McHugh, he's like one of the mic guys on the show, the host, the straight guy for The Rock. But he's also the NBC guy for hockey, which is pretty cool. I know the guy's good. I've seen him on the hockey. He's all right. And He's also the Notre Dame Fighting Irish host on NBC with football. So, the guy's got a good thing going. Should be a good interview. Smart dude, and we'll see you in the morning. I told you, apathetic bystander. I'm going to start my own. I've said this before. I'm going to start my own dating site. DGensOnly.com. Like-minded, degenerate gamblers. See you later, old man. See you later, Ryan. Oh, good point. Vince's show. He's got everything. Vince got his hand in everything. But we'll see you guys in the morning. God bless. Other than that, you're on your own.